I was never sick, ever, uh, ever. And then I got married and was having trouble conceiving. And I had some estrogen issues, done to my body. And then one day, out of the blue, I was diagnosed with lupus, very severe lupus. And I went from being a yogi, 7 days a week. I owned a yoga studio. I was thin and lean and felt great, and just everything was perfect, to being hospitalized every couple of weeks, heart surgery, just everything. And mostly, pain, just severe pain. So the first diagnosis was pericardial effusion, which means that there was fluid around the lining of the heart. So at that point, it was an emergency surgery, which they had to go into my heart and drain the fluid. After that, there was no consideration or no thinking about what treatments. I had to completely do every Western medicine that was invented for autoimmune diseases, including lots and lots of steroids, which then at that point made me gain 60, 70 pounds in like a week. And my face got, out of control. And then from there, I have osteoporosis and the other symptoms that you get from the toxins of the Western medicine. Well, at one point, during a regular x-ray, routine x-ray, they noticed synovial fluid around my joints, which is not part of lupus. And then they did other tests and they realized that with the lupus, I also was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, which there is a term called rupus. And that brought in a whole second set of problems. Getting sicker and sicker, and the sicker I got, the more stressed I got, and the more stressed I got, the sicker I got. And the medicines that we're using to keep me alive were actually doing the opposite. So one day I heard about not only functional medicine, but holistic specialists. And I sought them out, and they put me on something that was counterintuitive to a regular person, who doesn't know anything or much of anything when it comes to nutrition. And I kind of always knew it from having a yogic background with nutrition as well. And right away, I have to tell you, it was a little rigid in the beginning, but the effects were so unbelievably quick that the rigidity became a discipline. And to this day, I forget about losing the weight for aesthetic reasons. I became a different person. My numbers went down. I'm in remission from taking an antibiotic every single day for about 5 years to keep things not inflamed. I went from that to 0. There were years and years of lab testing about trying to find the root cause of all this inflammation. And they did, and they thought they did, actually. And then I found functional medicine and holistic specialists, and like I said, after it became a discipline, I found that if I slipped a day, it was an instant, almost an hour later, I had severe reaction. Pain, inflammation, not just inside that you couldn't see, but like my hands, my body, my blood felt like acid going through my veins. And when I decided to never slip again, I felt light. I felt healed, not just in my body, but my brain, my attitude. It lifted me, it cleaned me. Every time I put things into my body that they recommended to me, including the fats, especially the right fats, and the fermented foods and just everything that came about, I became a different person. So right away, I switched doctors, and to my delight, my Western doctor was also a functional medicine doctor, which was incredible. And she also believes and swears that it's because of my nutrition and supplementation and the way that I was treated by functional medicine and holistic specialists that I got to the point where I'm in remission. So every time I see somebody that isn't feeling well, that has an autoimmune disease, that I know, I can tell, and not only in autoimmune disease, but just in general, I sit them down and very gently I explain to them, I show them a picture, before, during, and after picture that I carry with me, and I don't have to say, I just show them and they see, and then they start asking, and then I start recommending, and I haven't heard a story yet where it hasn't worked.